All right, what's up, guys? It's Photo back for another Black Clover mobile video. I know I haven't done that many of these, but yeah, we kind of have to talk about this. So I guess I'll just mention this real quick too. Before we get started, the usual. If you enjoyed the video or whatever, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Would really help me out. But with that being said, let's get into the main point of this. Just he's talking about the whole point of this video. Yeah, so yeah, the game is EOSing here. So yeah, honestly, kind of not that surprised that this game is EOSing. If you guys been playing those games since day one, I've been keeping up with it or been playing it recently, the content has been so fucking dry. Global has seen barely anything, barely any characters, barely new content. JP has gotten a couple new things, but then for some reason we never really got any of those characters or stuff. Like there's still a couple characters in JP that we haven't gotten yet, which is a little bit odd in my opinion. But yeah, this was kind of obvious from like a mile away. We can kind of tell that, yeah, this game was kind of, was gonna EOS because there was barely anything fucking happening in the global version. I would show you what's happening in the game, but right now the game's going on maintenance, and there might be a reason why into this post, but it's going on for like another 2 hours here. Anyways, yeah, if you guys don't know, I have been playing this game since day one. Like I said, I think I have at least one video for this game upload on the channel. I think I don't remember which one, but yeah, I've been playing this game since day one, been keeping up with it. Low-key kind of wanted to quit a little bit, but hey, I guess I have to now, right? But yeah, I mean, the game initially when it first came out, I thought it was really cool. That was fun. What's funny is that I actually was at their booth for Anime Expo the 1 year they showed up and stuff, which is the first year they're basically when the game was about to come out. That was kind of cool. But yeah, very sad because the game had a lot of quality potential to it, but sadly they weren't able to really like break through anymore with it. But anyways, let's read this post here to find a little bit more information here as to why the EOS and all that. So basically, dear mages, all that good stuff there. Today, difficult news that basically the game is EOSing. So the game will EOS on August 21st, 2025 on Thursday. So basically you guys have until August 21st to keep playing the game. What's kind of funny though is that Tribe 9 I think is also EOSing around that time as well, and they literally announced it like a couple months before, so they're literally kind of pulling like a bit of a Tribe 9 here where they're going to be EOSing within a couple months, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing in a way, because it still gives some people a lot of time to like, if they want to do anything or like reminisce of the game, they can. But yeah, I think for this game though, they could totally do like an offline version if they really wanted to, just to maybe see the characters and like hear their voices and stuff, but I don't know. But yeah, so basically it's difficult to create a new game, but even more heartbreaking to end one as we prepare this message, reflect on a journey filled with excitement and joy and challenges, and then we deeply appreciate your dedication and passion for Black Clover Mobile. Thank you for being an integral part of this journey. Basically just saying thank you for all the players that supported the game. And then lastly, our final update will be on June 26th. So June 26th is when we will get the final update, which is kind of funny. Is like how a whole bunch of things for a bunch of different games are literally coming out June 25th and June 26th. So a little bit funny in that regard. But yeah, this will be the last update. And then it's going to be content inspired by the Sword of the Wizard King, which if I remember correctly is the movie. And if you guys didn't know, right now to be honest, I think for like the past like couple of weeks they've been doing a bit of a, it started since a couple of weeks ago. They started with the part 1 of the movie collab where they literally give us 2 new characters, full dupes of their character and full dupes of their weapon or skill page, right? Which is kind of nuts. And so now they're gonna be like, all right, we at least had this other content prepared, we're at least gonna end off the game on a high note and give the players these last couple characters. Tribe 9 should have done the same, but I don't know what kind of lame that they didn't, but hey, at least Ganera here is being nice and be like, what, even though we're EOSing the game and we did have these characters planned up, we're gonna be at least releasing them. I kind of hope we do at least get the characters that JP did get, but they might not do those because maybe they don't want to pay for the licensing for the English voice acting. But even then, I think I'd be kind of okay if they just drop the characters, even if they only have JP voice acting on global, just so we can, we can just summon them for fun, right? But still kind of sucks. But at least that is cool though that we're just getting the other 2 mages from the movie club, which is probably gonna be the I forgot what her name was, but it's like the red hair like chick or whatever, and then it's probably gonna be like the old ice dude. Because I think it's literally like only 2 other Wizard Kings, because in the movies like Wizard King is basically about the Wizard Kings and all that, and I think there's only 2 more that we don't have. I feel like there's one I'm forgetting, but I'm pretty sure it's only there's only 2 more, and I'm assuming those are the 2 we're gonna get here. and then maybe like another like little bit of content with that as well. So that's kind of nice at least. And yeah, that's basically it. Looks like there's more details here though, which I didn't notice when I initially looked at this because I kind of glimpsed over it because I was looking for some more information here. Let's see, is there anything interesting here? Okay, yeah, so there's a bit more information as well. So let's see, transfer details. Wait, what? Transfer details? That's interesting. So let's see. So yeah, in a service, basically, so yeah, you can't buy anything after the maintenance, which is happening right now. So after today, you can't buy anything anymore, which means that the characters coming out are probably going to be given out for free. Maybe the same way that the first two characters were, like Conrad and another dude, or something else. App download disabled and full service shut down on August 21st. You can no longer download the game anymore. During the application period, eligible accounts may transfer their remaining premium black crystals to designated Ganera mobile game via. Oh, okay, that kind of sucks a little bit. I mean, I guess that's not bad, but I just think that kind of sucks. So basically, what they're saying is that if you have any remaining premium black crystals, you can't really refund those, but they're gonna let you transfer those into Ganera points that you can use for whatever other gacha games they have in the future, I guess. Kind of sucks for people that probably wanted their cash back on that, to be honest. But I mean, I guess that's an alternative. Just kind of sucks you won't be able to get your full money back from that because they kind of want to keep it. So hey, at least if there's any other future Ganera gacha games, or if there's any other existing ones that I'm not sure about, I guess you can use it on that. But yeah, that kind of sucks for anyone who spent money, still has money still in the game. But basically you can transfer, it looks like, from the beginning of when the game EOS is, which is going to be the 21st of August, all the way until September 25th. So they give you about like a month-ish. And then yeah, you can only transfer the premium. You can't transfer, let's see, so non-transferable items. Any items or currency acquired for free, yeah, which makes sense. And the items used immediately after purchase or partially used. Expired or consumed items. How to transfer, basically contact customer service with your information about your account and then any other required information. And then you can check which games are eligible for paid currency transfer. So basically, you go there, you let them know, hey, I want to transfer my funds over because they're going to be useless anyways. And then you can find out from there what you can use it on. I kind of hope they at least maybe let you like hold on to it to your account. So maybe any future gacha games from Ganera that maybe you're interested in, you could use it there. I kind of hope that's the case because it would kind of suck if you're forced to like lock it into some random gacha game, because that would kind of suck if they did that. Hopefully they'll be able to at least let you like keep it on your account, and then if you want to, you can use it later. You don't have to use it right away. But regardless, like I said, that still kind of sucks. They don't let you get your full refund, like cash back. And then this is how you check your icon, your account information. Tap your profile icon on the upper left corner of the game screen to access your information. Basically, you just need your nickname and then the ID from your account, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is basically just going over like if you have any like paid currency, this is how you transfer it and get it, I guess, quote unquote, back. Not really, but yeah. If you go to the Twitter here though, of course, if we go like scrolling, right, this is basically all they've been posting for like the last couple months. Basically, you know what's crazy to me too? They literally made 0 announcement posts about giving the free Conrad and the free other Black Clover movie character for free. They made no announcements for that. I literally didn't know about it until Giku, because Giku is kind of like the main Black Clover mobile YouTubers, also the one I mainly watch for the game. And he was literally the only one, like I said, he's the only one I watch, but basically I didn't know that we're getting 2 free characters fully duped out with the weapons, the SP, or SP pages, whatever, for free from just logging in. I literally didn't know that until he made that video, because he has a little bit more connections with the information about the game. And so I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, they made 0 announcements for that. So that's like already like a bad sign, right? And then this is basically the same thing. It's just like, oh, some random event here. This is all they've been posting. Like, I don't know why they didn't even post the collab stuff. My guess is that probably at some point around maybe, yeah, past this guy here. I forget what his name was. But I say past this guy, they basically were like, all right, or either between there or between these two, between maybe this banner, they were like, all right, we're not making around some. So I think maybe around March, they were probably like, yeah, we're not making enough money. We're just going to EOS the game. And at that point, they basically just stopped posting any interesting stuff. And then Global basically got like barely any content at that point. So basically around somewhere on March, towards end of February, beginning around March is when the content basically became non-existent in the game. And we just got a bunch of rerun events The game was really dry. Like, it's crazy, like, not seeing a regular banner for so long in this game. It's just like crazy, man. Like, yeah, Kaiser was the last big thing we ever got in the game. And I guess like in the movie collab, but even then, I think the movie collab was just like, since they didn't even promote it, I'm assuming that it wasn't even a last ditch effort at that point. I think they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna quietly add this in, and then at that point they were like, all right, we're EOS. Because I think the last ditch effort they ever had for this game was Kaiser here. I think this was the last ditch effort for the game to try and like bring it back in February. But since I'm guessing their revenue wasn't good enough by that point, and we'll look into the revenue in a little bit here, they were just like, yeah, we're not making any more money, we can't really, there's no point. And I think that they haven't really made that much new content that's like really interesting. It's kind of like around the same kind of thing. But I think this game definitely a lot of potential, definitely a lot of polish that I did like. But yeah, very disappointing that the game is EOSing. I was curious if the JP one was, because the JP, if you guys didn't know, it was actually getting a lot more updates than Global was. They were actually getting a lot more new characters. And if, you know, looking at their JP here, they also are saying that the game is also EOSing here on the same time, basically, which I was a little surprised, because I thought, oh, maybe it was like a global only thing, which would kind of suck, but maybe JP is still going on, because sometimes that does happen where only global EOSs but JP still stays alive, or sometimes the other way around, but you know, global still EOS. No, they're both EOSing. So yeah, even JP, with them fully focusing on JP for like the longest time, they're also EOSing, because I think they have a couple more characters. Yeah, like look, they even promoted like these two guys, because these are the two guys they were given for free. They literally were doing way more promotional stuff on their JP Twitter here. Yeah, like saying, hey, log in to get this free character, you know, get them all for free, fully duped out. Like, yeah, they were posting like a lot more stuff on the JP here, because I guess maybe another part of that last ditch effort was fully focusing on JP, because at least from what I remember, like back a while ago when the game was still kind of like in its like, I guess, golden era or whatever, I could have sworn people were saying that Global was making most of their money and JP wasn't really doing as much. So maybe they were trying to hope that maybe, oh, let's fully focus on JP and see if maybe we can get more players back into the game, and then, you know, make more revenue from JP. Like, yeah, this guy does not have the character that's not even out on Global at all. Like, he never came out. And then I think there's like another like couple characters too. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Like, I guess their other idea was maybe to fully focus on JP here. I think I think Gorn is another character we don't have in this dude as well. I forgot Gauche, I think, right? But I think they were maybe trying to focus on JP and trying to like see if maybe they could yeah, we don't even have this fucking character. Look, it's so, like, we have that many characters that were stuck on JP and never came to Global. But like I was saying, I think they just, you know, they fumbled the bag clearly, right? And they just weren't able to bring it back with JP. And so they fully stopped focusing on Global pretty much, and we're just trying to like focus on JP. It didn't pay off. And yeah, honestly, I think if they brought it to Global, the game could have kept being, you know, it could have come back maybe a little bit more, because they basically left Global for dead. And yeah, like I don't know what the plan is. We'll definitely look at the revenue now though. But yeah, just like you know, look at this, like new character, like event, new character, new event, and then Global is basically event, but like, you know, rerun events, right? And then like no new characters for so long, and even when they did release new characters, they didn't even fucking promote it at all, which is like so crazy to me. I was like, what the heck are they doing? Like, with like, at least promote it, right? Like, it can't take that long to just at least post like a thing like, oh hey, log into the game now to get these free characters, like which every other gacha game does. It's a very question. But yeah, going here at the revenue, I was curious, so I looked specifically for Black Clover Mobile. I don't know how accurate this is, but this basically only goes off the, you know, iOS and Android, so this should be fairly accurate, I think, to an extent, because I know there's no there's no PC version, right? And then this should be, I think, a mix of Global and JP fused together, I think. But yeah, basically, you know, regardless, right? As you can see, right, the revenue of the game, beginning the game when the game came out, was really good. And then December was when they dropped like the Wizard King, and then they dropped I forgot what the other hype thing was, but they dropped one other really hype thing. I think it was Summer, but December was like the biggest time the game ever got, basically, because there was a lot of hype around that time. So as you can see, the revenue was really big around this time, and then plummeted really poorly around January, and then you know, as you can see, it basically got worse and worse and worse by that point. So yeah, like it basically got to where they only made like 69k from where they were at, like, which was like their peak at 450k. You know, big decrease there. And then we go here, you know, 69k revenue. Previous month was 80k. And this is combined here from, I'm assuming, iOS and Android. I don't know if it has JP included here. Oh, hold on. Looks like JP is here. So yeah, this is the JP version here, but this goes off downloads though, not really revenue. But yeah, just like it went down so bad, man. Like yikes, like what happened? Let me see if I can copy this and see if I can pull up the JP version as well. But yeah, like it's all the way at the bottom here, 114. Like it's literally around like Tribe 9, you know, Tribe 9 fucking EOS, like not too long ago either, and they only made like slightly more money, you know. So this is literally down here. Granted, right, we have stuff like NeuroCloud, which is still alive and kicking, and it's like it made less than Black Clover Mobile. But I think this might be another issue where, like, just like Tribe 9, fuck, even Hegan, the classic fucking game that has basically made like no money, it's gotten worse and worse over time. It's still down in the dumps, but still alive and kicking, right? So it's like, I think it's just another case of Tribe 9 where the higher ups basically said, hey, we're not making enough money, let's just end the game now. We'll just focus our resources on a brand new gacha game or existing gacha games, which is like, damn. Like, heck, like Counter-Strike's still kicking too, and they're not even that far behind. They're only like about maybe 20k behind. So it's like, you know, they definitely could have done more. I think this might be another situation where they're kind of giving up a little bit, maybe not too early, but they definitely could have done a bit more. But I think this might be like Tribe 9 where they're just giving up. They're throwing the towel and they're just saying, fuck it, we're done with the game. Which is like, it's like, damn, man. Better than Tribe 9 because at least they're releasing characters that were supposed to come out. But I don't know about the other characters that are on fucking JP. I don't know if those are coming out. So it's like, damn, man, like what happened? They really just gave up, or I guess their strategy of focusing folding on JP didn't pay off, is my understanding at least. I don't know if this pops. Yeah, looks like it won't pop up the JP version of Black Clover, because I just want to see if I can find more information about this here. Because I get that, and then it's just me this one. I don't know if this says anything useful here. Okay, here we go. So global went down by 14%, and then JP went down by 10% here. Breakdown. Okay, yeah. So here's global, and here's JP. So let's see. JP didn't have that much of a decrease. Let's see. So this is 2025. So it looks like what's more on the left here is more recent, and what's on the left is more older, right? Yeah. Okay. So on the right's gonna be what's older, and then the left is more recent. So if we go here, right? So like as of like the most recent month, basically, right? It went down by 14 for total percent, and then Android went down by the most. iOS is about the same. For JP, iOS actually decreased, and then Android is about the same. So they went technically a lower decrease. However, the amount of money clearly is more in global side, as you can see, right? Because this is 60k, this is 9k total for JP. And as I was saying earlier, I'm pretty sure I was hearing like a lot of stuff going around where global was the one making more money for the game, not JP. And then I think if we go back here, right, 400k total for global, JP was 50k total. So it's like, what are we doing here, man? Clearly global was the audience to focus on. If they just focused on global, I think they would have been fine. But I don't know what they were thinking of just focusing on JP, where clearly JP people, or people on playing JP, did not care about the game that much compared to global. Global had pumped in way more money, way more. Like you're comparing 9k to 60k, and then if you go back a couple months, right, 11k, 120k. Several times, 160 to 30k, like what? This is what's like kind of confusing to me. It's like you can clearly see global was making more money for them, right? Now, like I said, this could be like slightly wrong, but I'm pretty sure this should be like fairly accurate, right? And even if it's like a little bit like wrong here and there, I mean, the numbers are still big enough, in my opinion, where like clearly this is like, you know, you can kind of use this as like a good reference, in my opinion, right? Like, I don't really, to be honest, if I'm being honest, guys, I don't really know how, what's the word, like trustworthy this gacha revenue site is, because I was hearing some backlash a while back about the site being not truly accurate, but I think that was maybe related to more of like PC ports or something for the revenue. But like, I'm not too sure, like, you know, because I was hearing some drama about this site, but I think for the most part it should be like accurate enough in this case, because this was only on iOS and Android, right? But yeah, like clearly, as you can see, right, the revenue was like a big difference, right? You know, 11k, 120k, 30k to 160k. So like even in the, you know, the most recent months, right, Global was still pumping out more money than JP was. So that's why I'm just saying, like what is happening, you know? Like, why exactly did they say, you know what, our biggest moneymaker on Global, we're just gonna forget about them, barely pump out any content for them, barely release any units for them. We're just gonna fully focus on JP, which is making significantly less money for us for I don't know what reason. I don't know what the game plan was, man. I don't know what the game plan was for focusing fully on JP than Global. I guess maybe they thought if we focus fully on JP, maybe there's going to be a bit of a JP nationalism. Be like, oh, let's go. We're getting more stuff than Global is. Let's go. Let's pump up, you know, more money. I think if this was a CN game, that would have worked. If I'm being honest, if this was a CN game, probably that strategy would have worked. I think if it was a CN game, maybe. But the fact that this is a JP game, kind of a different story, right? Clearly a different story. But even then, right? Like, if your Global site is making more money, man, you know, and they both came out, and then mind you, this is like a coming out at they both came out at the same time, right? JP and Global came out at the same time, basically. Global's still making more money, man. Like, I think they would have been fine if they just said, we're gonna still keep the same pace of giving JP and Global about the same content. Now, mind you, right, if I remember correctly, JP was ahead of Global. Yeah, JP was ahead of Global for like a bit, and then we were slowly, you know, catching up. And then right when we're about to catch up, that's when they started doing this weird shit of like, we're not gonna be fully caught up. We're gonna be like maybe like a couple weeks behind. And then they started doing weird like Global first units, and then JP first units, and then it would turn into JP only getting the new units, and then we get maybe one of those units. Like I don't know, man. So something clearly went wrong in like the decision making for how they wanted to handle the rest of the game. But I think this is probably a big indicator as to what might have went wrong, where they clearly focused on the wrong audience for whatever reason. Like I said, I'm not too sure, but you know, I was just like, damn, what fucking happened? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it I want to talk about. I was trying to look for it on the Reddit here, like, to see it, but like I found out there's like the official page here, so I just went to look here because I wanted to see like where it was on the like last couple months, right? But we could already kind of see where it was. It was like pretty down under, right? But yeah, and then I guess we can look at downloads. I don't think downloads matters too much, but yeah, downloads basically from Global went down significantly, and then from JP they did not increase one single fucking bit. So yeah, like look at that. Like Global was like, yo, let's go Global, rising up. JP dead in the water, dead, you know, somewhere in the fucking ditch where like they got zero. I mean, hey, I guess they didn't lose any players. Definitely didn't gain any here though, if this is right. Global definitely lost a lot though. Now this, I feel like this might low-key be weirdly biased towards Global, but I don't think it should be. Regardless though, like clearly the revenue here is like, you know, wow. But anyways, that's all I really want to talk about. Sorry if the video's a little bit long here, guys. But I think in the case like this, I think it's fair, and you know, because of like the issue, you know, fucking game getting EOS, right? And just kind of searching around as to maybe what was the issues for the game. Let me know down in the comments below though if you guys think that like, or you know, if this site actually isn't good, or if it's like, you know, inaccurate, or if maybe there's like a better website that's like more accurate. But I think this should be fine, right? But like I said, let me know down below if this site maybe isn't accurate, maybe it's not like actually that true, maybe it actually is like, you know, false or whatever. But I'm just using this as like as a basis of like what might be the reasoning. This for revenue, right? Because revenue definitely is a big indicator as to why a gacha game usually will EOS, right? That's usually the number one case, is like if the revenue goes down really bad, and if now as we're seeing it more and more, I suppose lately, with JP gacha games specifically, if the revenue gets a little bit too low, You know, they pull the cord, right? They pull the cord. We saw that with Tribe 9, you know, where they made like a little bit of like revenue, and then they decided to pull the cord, and then Black Clover made a little bit more than Tribe 9, and then they're pulling the cord for that. So maybe there's just like a weird thing where if it's a JP gacha game, if they hit under a certain threshold, the higher ups said to just cut the game off at that point. But then if it's like a CN gacha game, they don't fucking care how low it gets. They're just gonna continue the game and hope that it gets better from there, which is sometimes it actually does. But yeah, just like kind of crazy, man. I don't know though if where they are in the revenue, if like it makes sense for them to like have EOS, or if they're still like technically in the clear of like they totally still could have kept like the game up, right? Because like I said, I was saying earlier, I think the game probably would have been fine if they continue to focus on fucking global still and not left global on the side for whatever reason. They basically said, you know what, JP, you're making me less money, I'm gonna stick with you. Global, you're making me more money. For whatever reason, I'm gonna put you to the side and barely give you any content that often, other than just rerun events. Which, to be fair, the reruns were actually kind of good because they brought back shit like what is it? Yeah, like there's basically like stuff like this, which is like a dupe for your, I'm blocking it, but basically there's like this thing here which basically gives you a free dupe for your skill pages. There's one this one, right, which is it this one? I remember there's like one of these, yeah, this one, where free dupe for your, like a free character dupe. Like they were bringing this stuff back, which is like, yo, that's good, that's crazy, that's actually really, really good, because they took this away for a while. And then there's no point because the game is EOSing, right? And it's like, oh wow, thanks for giving us these like good events, but without any new banners, not any new characters for people to actually use these on, or for actually, you know, spend money in the game. So just kind of crazy, man, just kind of crazy. But even though it does suck that this game is EOSing, and I did enjoy it when it first came out, as sucky as it may sound, it does leave more opportunities and more room for future gacha games. So yeah, as much, you know, don't get me wrong, I think this sucks a lot. I did like the game, but to be fair, they were basically like putting out no content for this game. Definitely feel less sad about this. If I'm being honest, I do feel less sad about this than Tribe 9, because Tribe 9 was like, felt like more of a passion kind of game. Whereas this was like, if there was some passion, don't get me wrong, but for a while they just kind of threw in the towel and just decided to ignore global for whatever reason. Like I said, I'm not really too sure. Maybe there's some people that know. I don't really know for sure. You know what's crazy too? They actually used to do stuff with content creators for the game. They used to do like a PvP tournament, like for like 1 or 2 times, but then some stuff went down where they decided to like stop doing it because I think people were like hate commenting too much or something. But I remember that was kind of cool, you know, where it's like literally if you watch the streams for those, you can get free summons from like free codes basically from just watching, participating, and voting for which streamer is gonna win basically from like all the different global streamers. Like that was actually really cool. I actually like when gacha games like, you know, like include content creators and like do fun events like that to be able to also give rewards to all the other players that play the game, right? So I think that was really cool, and they just kind of suck they stopped doing that. But yeah, like as I was saying though, it does suck. I am sad that this game is EOSing, but I'm not as sad as Tribe 9, because you know, Tribe 9 I feel like put more stuff into it, whereas this game did put stuff into it, but kind of like at the same time with Tribe 9, you know, they're kind of throwing the towel a little bit too early. Not to mention the fact that for whatever reason they're just making weird decision making, like with the whole, it just, let's ignore global, right? Let's fuck global over and give them nothing, right? But what I was gonna go into was that even though this game is EOSing, we're getting 2 brand new gacha games next week. If you guys are interested, there's going to be a Persona 5 gacha game which looked pretty good. It will if you guys did like the turn-based fighting system from Black Clover Mobile, I low-key would kind of recommend to check out the Persona 5 gacha game, because that one does have turn-based combat, and if you like Persona, you might like that one. There's also another one coming out called Uma Musume, which I'm really excited for as well, so definitely be checking those out. If you want, I'll pull them up actually real quick here. But yeah, these games are coming out, you know, so we have the Persona 5 game that's coming out next week, so I'm pretty excited for this one. I probably will be making content for this game, I think, because it does look kind of fun. I don't know if I'll stick with it though, if I'm being honest, but I am interested in checking it out. Also, yeah, Joker's coming out, so if you guys like Joker, right, he's coming out for the game. But yeah, I'm thinking about checking this game out. It looks kind of fun. It does have similar combat or similar things from the original Persona 5 game, so if you guys did also like that, they do have some of that in this game as well, so that's kind of cool. Sorry if the quality's low, you know, so like it's Twitter, right? But yeah, basically there's like, it's very similar to just regular Persona 5 stuff, where you can just walk around, very similar characters. and then the combat is also very much the same, but of course, you know, gacha, right? You pull for characters and different summons and all that, so that's kind of cool. And then there's another game coming out at the same time, basically, which is the Musume game, which I'm very excited for personally. Basically, just cute anime horse racing girls. Basically, you just watch them race. It's kind of like a date sim, I think. I don't really know that much about the game, to be honest, other than like you have girls that are racing and stuff. But the other game I'm interested in, I'll probably be making content on this game as well. But like I said, I'm not too sure how long I'll stick with these. I think I might stick with the Musume game a little bit more. But yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely be making content on both of these games at the very least. But we'll see how that goes. I know there's already a lot of people making a lot of content in this game. You know, for like, oh, what to prepare for and all that good stuff. I might make something like that. We'll see. But I'm kind of more leaning towards the side of maybe I'll just make content instead of when the game actually drops instead of pre-hand, you know, before. But like I said, I don't know. Not too sure. But at the very least, both games will basically be dropping around the same time, basically. I think Musume might be one day earlier, but they're basically coming out like at the same time anyway. So, you know, it does like I said, for Black Clover Mobile EOSing here. But there's definitely other great games on the horizon. And even if you're not interested in both of these games, don't worry. There's literally a bunch of other great games coming out very soon. Like there's the new 7 Deadly Sins open world gacha game coming out very soon. Then we're going to be getting like Arknights Anfield at some point. And then, you know, a whole bunch of other great upcoming gacha games that are just around the corner, you know, just around the horizon. So, yeah, you know, it does suck, but there's definitely better things coming in the future. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, that's pretty much it. It's just, wow, you know, EOS. I mean, like, hey, it was kind of visible from a mile away. Regardless, though, hope this video helped you guys out. And with that being said, I'll see all of you guys later. Peace and take care, everybody. Also, I might make one more video for maybe like whatever like the last bit of content is, but we'll see on that one. Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna head on out. Peace and take care, everybody.